Ever wondered why some people seem to achieve success effortlessly, while others struggle despite their best efforts? The answer might surprise you. It's not about luck or even talent. It's about something we all possess yet often overlook: habits. Yes, those little routines we perform day in and day out, often without a second thought. They shape our lives more than we realize. Habits can be our greatest allies or our worst enemies. They can propel us towards our goals or hold us back. But here's the exciting part. We have the power to choose our habits. We can cultivate habits that foster success and personal growth, and the impact can be profound. Imagine a life where your habits are aligned with your aspirations, where each day brings you one step closer to your goals. That's the power of habits. It's not magic, it's a matter of habits. To change a habit, we first need to understand what a habit is and how it works. Imagine a habit as a three-part cycle, a loop if you will. This loop consists of a cue, a routine, and a reward. These three elements are the building blocks of every habit, good or bad. Let's start with the cue. This is the trigger that initiates the habit. It could be anything from a specific time of day, a certain place, a particular emotion, or even the company of specific people. For instance, you might have a habit of reaching for a sugary snack when you're feeling stressed. In this case, stress is your cue. Next, we have the routine. This is the behavior or action you automatically engage in once the cue is present. In our earlier example, the routine would be eating the sugary snack. The routine is what we often think of when we talk about habits. It's the action we either want to change or reinforce. Finally, we have the reward. This is the payoff, the reason your brain decided to remember this habit in the first place. The reward could be a feeling of satisfaction, a sense of accomplishment, or in our example, a momentary relief from stress. The reward reinforces the habit loop, making it more likely to happen again when the same cue is present. Now you might be wondering how these three parts interact. Well, it's simple. Your brain recognizes a cue, initiates the routine to reach the reward, and then remembers this pattern for the future. It's like creating a shortcut for your brain to save effort. This is why habits can be so hard to break. They're ingrained patterns of behavior that your brain defaults to. But don't worry, understanding this is not meant to discourage you. In fact, it's quite the opposite. By understanding the anatomy of a habit, you're already one step ahead. You've got the knowledge to deconstruct old habits and build new ones. Understanding this cycle is the first step towards mastering your habits. Now, think about a habit you'd like to change. What is it? And why is it a bad habit? The journey to transformation begins with self-awareness. It's about knowing ourselves, our tendencies, our patterns. It's about recognizing when a habit does more harm than good. So let's delve into how we can identify those bad habits. Start by asking yourself, is this habit serving me well? Good habits are those that contribute positively to our well-being, while bad habits often lead to negative consequences. For example, eating fast food may be convenient, but it can lead to health problems down the line. Another way to identify bad habits is to observe your feelings. Do you feel guilt or regret after indulging in the habit? That's a clear sign. Our emotions are powerful indicators of our actions and can guide us towards better choices. Remember, the first step towards change is acknowledging the need for it. Identifying a bad habit is just the start. The real work begins when we try to replace it with a good one. You see, the process of habit replacement isn't simply about eradicating an old habit. It's about replacing that void with something more beneficial, something that aligns with our goals and aspirations. Think of it like this. You're not merely getting rid of a weed in your garden, you're planting a beautiful flower in its place. Choosing an appropriate and desirable replacement is crucial. The new habit should be one that resonates with your own personal values. It should be something that excites you, something that you look forward to. Because let's face it, if the new habit feels like a chore, it's going to be that much harder to stick to it. Now let's talk about persistence and consistency. They're the secret ingredients to the recipe of successful habit replacement. Persistence is about pushing through, even when you don't feel like it. It's about standing up each time you fall, dusting yourself off, and starting again. Consistency, on the other hand, is about repetition. It's about doing it day in, day out. It's about making that effort, no matter how small it may seem, every single day. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. The Grand Canyon wasn't carved in a day. They're the result of consistent effort over time. So when you're trying to replace a bad habit with a good one, be patient, be consistent. Be persistent. It's not going to be easy, but then again, nothing worth having ever is. And finally, remember this. Replacing a bad habit isn't just about the habit itself. It's about the person you become in the process of overcoming it. It's about the resilience you build, the discipline you cultivate, and the self-confidence you gain. Changing a habit is not a one-time act. It's a commitment to a new way of living. And believe me, it's a commitment worth making. Your environment and the people around you can either help or hinder your progress. How can you use them to your advantage? Well, let's dive in. When it comes to replacing bad habits with good ones, we often overlook the significance of our surroundings. A supportive environment and a positive social circle can act as a catalyst, making the journey from bad to good habits less daunting. It's as if you're a seed and your environment is the soil. You need the right conditions to grow. So what does a conducive environment look like? Well, it's an environment that aligns with your goals. If you're trying to quit smoking, it's best to avoid places where you'll be tempted to light up. If you're trying to incorporate more physical activity into your life, living in a neighborhood with parks and gyms nearby can make a world of difference. Essentially, you want to make it easy to practice your good habits and hard to fall back into your bad ones. Now let's talk about the people in your life. They're part of your environment too, and they can either be your cheerleaders or your roadblocks. Surrounding yourself with individuals who understand your goals and support your journey can make maintaining good habits feel less like a chore and more like a shared accomplishment. They can provide motivation, accountability, and even a little competition to keep things interesting. But remember, you're not just a product of your environment, you're also a creator of it. So, take the time to cultivate a space and a social circle that supports your growth. This might mean decluttering your workspace, setting boundaries with those who don't support your goals, or even finding a mentor who can guide you along the way. And let's not forget, change isn't easy, and it doesn't happen overnight. You're bound to face obstacles and setbacks. But with a conducive environment and the right people by your side, these challenges become stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. With the right environment and people, maintaining good habits becomes less of a struggle and more of a lifestyle. So take a look around. Is your environment helping or hindering your progress? It's time to decide. Now, how does replacing bad habits with good ones lead to success? Well, the answer to that is rather straightforward. Good habits act as stepping stones towards success. They provide the discipline and consistency required to achieve our goals. When we replace bad habits with good ones, we're essentially transforming our lives one small manageable step at a time. Let's take a look at some examples. Consider the world's most successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and artists. Do they have something in common? Undoubtedly, yes. They all have a set of good habits that they follow religiously. Take Elon Musk, for instance. He attributes his success to his intense work ethic, which is a habit he's cultivated over years. Or consider Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes of our time. Her dedication to practice, even when she doesn't feel like it, is a habit that has led her to countless victories. In the realm of arts, we have Stephen King, the acclaimed author. He has a habit of writing every single day, no matter what. This consistency has resulted in a prolific career with over 60 books to his name. These examples illustrate how good habits contribute to personal and professional success. It's not about overnight transformations or sudden leaps to greatness. Success is more often a slow process of incremental improvements and consistent efforts. But remember, habits are not one size fits all. What works for one person may not work for another. It's crucial to find habits that align with your goals and fit into your lifestyle. Good habits are like the engine of a car. They provide the power and momentum to keep moving forward, even when the road gets tough. They help you maintain focus and stay on track towards your destination. But it's not just about the destination. The journey matters too. The satisfaction of seeing yourself grow, improve, and overcome challenges is a reward in itself. In the end, success is not a destination, but a journey, and good habits are the vehicle that gets